matter what we did. So we felt like we had to gamble in some areas. But I liked our group, a very resilient group. I thought we continued to gain more confidence as the game wore on, and we're fortunate to be here today. But it's not by accident. It's not by accident that we're sitting here. It's because this group comes every day, works hard. They come every morning, whatever the case may be. They come and prepare, and they've done that ever since day one.
Thank you, Coach. Questions for the student athletes up front?
David Cloninger with the state. Megan, Coach mentioned it, that the job you did on Jones yesterday. How do you think that experience will help off trying to defend Wilson and Coates tomorrow?
I mean, they're great players. It's just a matter of having other players step up instead of their best players. So, I mean, like he said, it was just she's a great player, and it's just a matter of having other people step up instead of, I guess, having your best player. I mean, yeah.
Question on the left side?
Kind of the same question, but Jones kind of plays kind of a point forward and brings it up sometimes. But South Carolina's going to go straight down underneath. How does that change up what y'all got to do very quickly going into another game?
Oh, for me?
I don't get to answer because he's here for your questions.
You got it. I got it. I mean, they're two different players. I feel like Jones, she brought the ball up, which when you have a 6'6", I guess, forward post bringing the ball up, it's completely different than just having a point guard bring it up and then passing it in. So we're going to have to switch some things up, but it's going to be a good game, I feel like.
Question in the center?
Pete Iacobelli, Associated Press. Brianna, you've played some tall, strong people in the Big 12. How do you feel that things will go facing them tomorrow night?
I mean, I feel like the Big 12 prepared me to play against girls, like the team they were going to play tomorrow. But, I mean, I feel like overall that the physicality of the game is going to be hard regardless. So, I mean, I feel like I'm pretty well prepared to play against them.
Question in the back?
Ladies, what was your impression of the environment here last night when South Carolina was playing, and what do you think it's going to be like to be playing in that?
I would say it was very intense. I mean, we play in some great gyms playing in the Big 12, so it's going to be something to adjust to. But, I mean, for me, I know it's exciting because, you know, you hear all the fans cheering. But, I mean, it's just we're just going to have to communicate more and just be loud on the court. So.
Question in the center?
Shaylin, what's the mood of the club right now? I mean, are you guys simply happy that you won, or do you feel like there's more left to accomplish this season?
I definitely think there's more for us to accomplish. We were really excited last night when the buzzer went off and we were on top. But, I mean, that point's in the past right now, and we're looking forward to the next game and focusing in on what we can control and focusing on us. And I think if we do everything and trust our habits that we've developed throughout the season, that we'll put ourselves in a good position tomorrow.
Question up front?
If each of you could answer, just either this year or throughout your careers, what's the most hostile or the biggest of a fans base that you played in front of?
Yeah, Baylor.
Probably the Baylor down in Waco. They had a really tough crowd down there, and it was just, they were very loud.
Question in the back on camera?
For any one of you three watching the game last night, what did you learn about watching South Carolina, and what do you think it will take after watching them play a game to beat them and play spoiler here in the Columbia Regional?
What I noticed is they had great post play and also great guards on, just picking up the ball early for them. That's what I saw. They always played two big posts, which for us, I think that's going to be a challenge, but I think we're ready. Coach is going to have a great game plan, and we're just excited.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Be prepared to play all 40 minutes of the game.
Any more questions? Thank you, ladies. Question on the left side for Coach.
Same question I asked them about changing from the way John Quell brings it under the post into what they're going to bring tomorrow with South Carolina.
Well, I think one of the things that I think every game for us is been a game of adjustments because we play so many defenses. So we really haven't put together that total game plan yet, quite frankly. That's why they're they're not intentionally not answering questions. They really don't know. We focused on ourselves like we always do. We watched film of ourselves and how we can play better. And for us, it's still about how do we play the best that we can play, and how do we put our players in the best position. So this is not abnormal for them. We did the exact same thing. We've done that since November. We pride ourselves on our preparation that it is consistent, and they're dead on with Dinus, who she's the one that we move around some. She quite frankly doesn't know where that's going to be yet, and quite frankly neither do I.
Question in the center.
Sometimes we just find out during the game.
Jeff, what have you seen that make Wilson and Coates such special players, such effective players?
Yeah, well, I think when you're at the level that they are at, they're able to play at a pace that is very, very comfortable for them. They're able to play together very well, so they complement each other very well. Their ability to play in a transition game when need be, and then play in the half court is very impressive. So they're going to cause us major headaches between now and game time, and they'll probably cause us a bunch during the game. But they play very well together, and I think they complement each other very well.
Question up front.
Jeff, you played Dawn Staley in Temple when you were at TCU, and you beat her.
We did.
What do you remember about that game, and what do you remember about her as she was kind of getting into her coaching career?
I hit a pull-up jumper on her with about 2 to go, and I felt like that was a big shot. Boy. Yeah, we both had, I think, very good programs at the time, and Dawn had done a fabulous job at Temple and building that, and we were fortunate enough to get out of there with a W. I had a very good team. Ended up getting beat by Georgia in the next round, but had a very good team. It was a very good basketball game. What I remember of it was a very good basketball game. Dawn, his teams are always so tough. I mean, that's the one thing that you look. They just play tough, hard-nosed defense. They, I mean, when you're number 2 and number 3 in the country, you do a lot of things well. But I think her teams have always had that DNA. They've always had a point guard that I think really is an extension of how she plays, and just does so many good things on the floor. So they're very, very good. But yeah, that game many years ago, that was a good game. I hope we have the same result.
Question in the back.
2 questions, Coach. First of all, your impressions of the environment last night when South Carolina was on the floor, and how you think your kids will handle it?
Well, I think that's going to be critical that we do handle it. It's a great environment. I was very impressed by the fans. I was very impressed by their the knowledgeable fan base. You could tell. They cheered when their team was down. Not down, but when they weren't playing very well. So many fans across the country cheer only when good things are happening. The really knowledgeable fan bases cheer when they sense their team needs something. And they had great energy in the building. It'll be critical for our group to play with more poise when it gets loud. It'll be critical for us to play with more toughness when they get loud. It'll be critical that our communication is at its best in those situations, because you can't have self-inflicted problems against them, okay? And you can't have the crowd become another problem for you. So we'll have to handle all those things very, very well. But this isn't the first time we've dealt with this, okay? So this isn't new to us. Have we always handled it well? We've gotten better over the course of this year. Okay, we've gotten better. We did not handle it well the first time at Baylor. We handled it horribly first time at Baylor. The second time at Texas, which isn't quite this noise, so I don't want to compare it, but it is a 2 seed. We handled it well and gave ourselves an opportunity. So we'll be tested by that tonight. As a staff, we've got to do a good job of making sure that our attack doesn't complicate things. So we've got to make sure that we've got a good attack that doesn't complicate things, and that's what we're working on today.
Is this crowd that similar to what you see in Waco?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. The numbers are bigger here because of the arena. I think Waco might seat 10, maybe 9-5, something like that. But 9-5 sold out. It's 9-5 sold out, and it's loud. And no, this is a great crowd last night. I probably won't enjoy it as much as I did last night, sitting there scouting as when I'm coaching in it. But it's a great atmosphere, and it's. We always talk about this. You wish you wish everyone was like this. You wish every site was like this because it's really creates a lot of excitement for the players, for the coaches, and for all the fans. You wish every site was like that, and hopefully we can get the game to where every site is like that.
Jeff, do you think that because you've gone up against big, strong players on a regular basis in the Big 12, that it gives you guys a starting point when you are trying to break down, and it gives your players a starting point when you are trying to defend against Wilson and Coates in the middle?
Well, I think we tell our players all the time, you're either winning or learning if you're good. Okay, and so every experience has got to become knowledge, and it's got to become an experience that helps you play better forward. So I think our group has done a good job of that. I think they've done a good job of learning when nights haven't gone our way on the scoreboard. And we'll see if we progress to a point, because until you get out there. But there's no doubt that we've played a tremendous schedule. 5 of our losses are to 1s and 2 seeds. Okay, now, can we use that? I think we can. I think Bree Lewis has done that this year better. We've seen growth in her because, last night it was a different challenge. Jones was a player that flies around. You never know what angle she's going to play. You never know if she's playing low side, top side. And I had a post like that at TCU, Sandor Irvin, where we just told her to play any way she wanted to, because we let her, and we had our backside help read, was Sandor wanting to play behind? Was she fronting her? And she was playing behind. So that was very difficult for us last night, particularly our guards. So Lewis has had a lot of experiences that way, whether it be Baylor or Texas or West Virginia, for example, hammers you on the top side. So she's had a lot of players play her differently. So I think we'll be able to use that for the post game. The guard game for South Carolina, I think, is very good at both ends of the floor. They're a factor. They can speed you up. They can pick your pocket if you get lazy with it. That's another area that we've got to make sure that our players, by the time you get to this point of the season, you are able to draw some comparisons with teams you've played. And because of the schedule that we've played, we'll be able to draw some comparisons, I think.
Any more questions for Coach? All right, Coach, thank you.
All right, guys, thank you.
Kansas State locker room is open until 11:50. The South Carolina press conference will begin at 1:30. Thank you.